We'll begin today with something truly wonderful. Although I'll start it with the fact that this world, to every spiritual human being, every illuminated, anyone with the condition of nirvana, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, a deep spirituality, faith in God, has always known that this world is a hell. And so we're going to begin that, but that's nothing. We're going to end that very quickly with very poignant understanding of the fact that yes, this is a hell to every spiritual human being that ever lived. Every spiritual human being that ever lived is aware of an endless expanse of love-filled, just extravagant existence that we're in touch with all the time. And from day to day, we might have so on and so forth, collide with the dark forces, but we know that there is an endless universe and we're here for a very short time. Today, I want to make it very, 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 very clear for your healing. 100% healing. No ifs, ands, and buts, no detours. That this is a hell. And that's said in the sense that no matter who we are, we don't escape guilt, remorse, we did that, there's something we haven't figured out yet. That's the way the world is set up. That's why it's a hell. You don't get away from it. I think Ernest Hemingway, the great writer, said that all people are broken inside, and that the fortunate ones when healed are stronger than the broken parts. I just made that up, but it's similar to his quote. The point is, when you understand what's being said right now, that's a total healing of all the stuff that goes on in our mind and all the combinations and permutations in our mind and all the different stray thoughts and feelings and sensitivities we have. We all know when we walk out and we look at the ocean, everything in us wants to go back to the ocean because we, maybe 4 billion years ago, as a sentient being in the world, I say this humorously, but it all makes sense, you want to go back into the sea. And then you'll sense something beyond that where you want to go back into the stars. We're formed, we're thrown of stardust. That's the potter's clay, is stardust. That's what we're from. So all these different trillions and trillions of neurons, neuron cells within our body want to go here and there and everything, all the nervous system. You look at the cyclopods, the octopus and the squid and all that, and the mollusk in the sea. They're much more intelligent, much more vibrant, illuminated presences than human beings are. It's just that they live in an entirely different environment. We talked about dogs, animals, whatever, and human beings aren't that bright. The thinking mind causes so many problems. And getting back to the point that if we can find our true beginning, which is in spirituality, because there is a God, and the true you, not thrown from stardust, which is the illusion, which is the demonic force, believe it or not. I mean, we weren't meant to die or to live. None of our pets were. Beautiful butterflies weren't meant to be as they are. They're indications of beauty. But spiritual illumination is endless, so exquisite, it's beyond falling in love with the most wonderful human being you've ever known. So if you understand this one fact of spiritual existence, that no one escapes this, you're like an endless starlit expanse that never ends, and the part of you that incarnates here has to glomp on to something for its existence, and you're born from your spiritual intuition to be here to do something great, but once you're here and you know it's a hell, we don't escape the brutality of it all. The main point that was just said is that when we can understand that, when we can grasp the fact that this is a hell, then we can let go of, it's like those Christmas lights in series where you turn one on or turn one off and they all go on or they all go off, but all your spiritual neuronic cells will go on. And everything else will go off when you understand, when you have this flash of insight that it's not you, you're not at fault. And yet if you're a spiritual being, you'll feel guilt about the two people you hurt in your life that were good and so forth. And if you really get quiet and look at it, you'll realize that different people around the circumstance, your life situation at the time, you could not escape the moment of collision with another person that was hurt somehow, or you found out 3 days later or whatever, and you didn't mean to do it. Just one example of the illusions that we get from living in the world. But if we're spiritual, okay, we accept that we did actually hurt that person in the circumstance. And then the deeper thought, and that will make us very humble if you're spiritual. You won't thrash out, you won't be angry, you won't, whatever, you'll accept it, you'll be contrite, you'll be humble because we're spiritual. These other horrible emotions that people have of anger and fear and distrust are not meant, they're not spiritual, they're part of the trap. In the old book it's called The Snare of the Devil, and that's what it's talking about. You don't escape it once you're here. But if you understand that, then you'll be stronger in the broken parts. Once they're healed, once you understand, once you grasp that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. This is important because spiritual people take on the sins of others. What are sins? Sin means separation from God in consciousness. Everything spiritual is lighter than air. It's softly lit, it's kind, it's dear, it's sweet, it's pure, it's you. And even when we have these enormous spiritual experiences, we know that that is not even a trace of the infinity that we are as spiritual beings. But from time to time in your life, you will feel, I could say the totality of it because it's infinite times infinite. It's the only word I have available to begin to touch the wondrous beauty of being part of heaven, God, eternity. And once you're there, you understand, grasp what's said now, because that's the only pain people have. Spiritual people do not want to hurt anyone. That's why we take in so much stuff. You know what I mean? Because we're not out there with a baseball bat protecting ourselves. We're interested in lifting it up because that's what a spiritual heart has. That's what the angelic presence that you are, the spiritual teacher, the spiritual instrument you are, that's the equipment, that's our body. We're not a mollusk, we're not a human, we're not our pet, we're not a panda, and we're not a mountaintop. We're a living, vibrant, divine, holy soul. And the sooner you grasp that, and the only thing in the way would be thrashing back out at those that are hurting us, and if we grasp the fact that it's one organism, and have a quiet confront on it. How is a quiet confront? When I work with people who have difficulties or whatever, which all spiritual beings, we help other people with this. The main thing is to completely confront, is what I'm discussing now, is I just quietly listen to them. Everything in me is turned off as far as me being Robert. I'm just interested, completely, absolutely interested in the person. So whatever they say, I'm interested, I'm hearing it, and I do not have a hairline of reaction to anything they say. And I'll acknowledge, this is the big thing, to acknowledge whatever they say when they say, got it, thank you. thank you. And I never say so, I never discuss whatever that comes to the fore that's bothering them. I just acknowledge it and it will turn off. And that's why all these neural cells, if you look in the brain when I'm listening to people and they feel they're free to do it, everything will get lit up like a Christmas tree. And today is Christmas for our understanding, for our wisdom. And the idea we have to confront, right? So if you have to confront on all the different forces of the world spiritually and with illumination, you have it, you don't really care. And you have empathy along with that confront. It's not just psychological. It's not mental. You listen with all that you are. I'm just zeroing in, turning the knobs here, and looking at all this world and all the hells, but without reacting to it. And you train yourself to do this over a period of time, because I know it doesn't exist and it doesn't have power, that it's an illusion. And you can switch the channel with your thought like that. Now I'll turn it off. And I just get really quiet and humble and shy and sweet. It's a nice thing to be in love with God. God's in love with us. You are God's volunteer. You are a great hero to the heavenly beings and presences. You volunteered your soul, the spirit itself. And I want to make it very clear, this is an infinitesimal particle of nothingness. This thing, we call it the hell, the cosmos in the physical sense, it doesn't really exist. So you've given up 900 trillion% of your spirit to be here to figure it out and help. So you are a hero. And every moment of your life, all the great ones are aware of everything you do, think, feel, you're going through. And they abide with you. They abide with us forever. So as soon as we capture the understanding of the fact that once you incarnate here, you're part of the problem, you're not part of it, but the thing is you can't escape it, no matter who you are. The little confusions, because there are no separate beings in heaven. It's just, there's a oneness. Sweet as a morning rain. And in this world, the idea that there are separate beings, that's the problem. That's the Garden of Eden. If you can see that in a spiritual sense, you instantly understand this and you will heal. You'll let go of my hero that I communicated with last night is like completely broken inside and the most wonderful person I know. Someone I adore and worship as a human being. And we all have that. We all know there's some secret place in us that's broken. Creative people use it to spiral their way out of the circumstance by developing something, creating something, dabbling in the arts, whatever. Helping others, maybe they're consumed with just helping other people because they don't know how else to do it. Today's thought is that in quiet reverie, look at the circumstance without judging yourself, the other, anything, just let it go, let it go, let it go, get more and more subtle. I let someone work on me with black magic for the last 10 years, and you have to be very, very, very tough and learn to do this, but without reacting to it. There are no shoulds or coulds or try this or that in spirituality. There's only quiet. It's a monumental presence that you will be absorbed in and aware of and part of when you let go of the guilt, the remorse. And remember, all these people are lost. I got in the elevator with someone this morning, and I'm thinking, why? And it seemed like there was some separation from me as I'm a person, and this person's getting in the elevator. And that person was complete, and you would see as no, that's a nice person. No, if you didn't know better, and it was just being their physical self, that was enough to say this is the absolute, complete manifestation of Satan. You understand that we are not physical beings, we're souls. And all those who are spiritual and are heart people know exactly what was just said. And I'm just saying, extrapolate it out to the wisdom and the core of your beingness, that you're here to heal the whole thing. But not reacting to the dark force, not accepting it in yourself. That's the healing. Understanding that we all, that's the trap. Everyone is made to be part of the insanity. There's no guilt. There's no remorse. You might feel that in the beginning, and that's good. That's you're coming to terms with something. You're working on your issues. But if you know the absolute truth of it, then you'll very quickly go to the other end of the problem, and the equation will be solved. You are the doctor of your soul. You are the doctor of heaven, by Holy Writ, here to heal the whole world, meaning those who would be healed, the decent, the heart people, the kind, the true, the innocent, the pure. All the victims. The victims mean you're innocent. And you look, I don't even want to say it, look Satan in the eye. There is no, understand that it's all nebulous. It's lighter than air. It's not this tough thing. It's not physical. It's the more delicate you get in your perception, the simpler it will be. And the sooner we'll finish with this thing. Allow yourself to be healed in the broken places. You'll be stronger there than you can imagine. It's a very wonderful, I'd say powerful, but not powerful. It's a wonderful feeling to be stronger than steel. It's wonderful. Because everything is spiritual, so it's not a tough feeling, it's all the bright lights of eternity appear to you. They live inside you and through you and with you. You are the very light itself, born in this madness to heal, to help, to save. And you are the valiant one. It's the greatest act of valor a human being could ever have, is to heal themselves and those they love of the fractures caused by this fractious universe, this hell. It's confrontational. In other words, as soon as you think you're a physical being rather than spiritual, that's why people subdue their senses. They slow their breathing down with like your nasal breathing. And close the mouth off, and I think a Navy SEAL would practice breathing 4 breaths. This counts. You inhale 4 seconds slowly, hold it 4 seconds, exhale all through the nose 4 seconds, wait 4 seconds, inhale, and rinse and repeat. And it will quiet your nerves, your nervous system down. That's why they practice nasal breathing, and then the llamas that melt ice around them and so forth after a few hours. All your nervous system becomes lighter than air. It's talking about the cyclopods and walking the ocean, going back. So you'll go back to the water, you'll go back to the light, you'll go back to electricity, beyond that, to whatever incidental energies there are in the universe, the neurons and all that. And if you do that, you'll get rid of ADHD, your asthma will disappear, you won't sneeze, you won't be all stuffed up all the time, and if you just chew a lot, your teeth will straighten out, your jaw will become stronger. And all this has happened in the last few hundred years. If you look at all the skeletal remains. I'm saying all this lightly and heartily because all of you will heal. You'll never age in your heart and soul. It doesn't matter if this thing is here or not. This has to be here in order for someone to communicate in this world. God does it directly all the time, but people are so caught in the temptation of being their body that they think they can only see God when they die or something. It's a horrible world. All of it's part of the temptation. So if you know there's nothing wrong with you, please know there's nothing wrong with you. That's the trap. What was just explained is the fact that we all, once you're here, you become part of it. Let go. Let God. And all this will be gone. All the madness, all the tragedy. It's no more than a TV show to the awakened one. As soon as you're here, you're caught. You don't even have to disentangle it, just see it. And of course, as spiritual beings, we're contrite, we're humble, we'll accept okay, I hurt so-and-so, and so I will become 1,000 times more humble. Humble meaning because you love whoever you hurt so much that you'll willingly hang on a cross for that person. But this is all emotional, psychological, spiritual. There's nothing wrong with you. You're a holy vessel. You came here to understand what was just said and then to heal the nations. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.